President Donald Trump has been indicted on RICO charges in the Georgia election probe. I'm Tyrone Bowman. This is Tyrone Bowman Tonight. According to CNBC, Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis presented a Georgia grand jury Monday with the election interference case against former President Donald Trump and his allies. Former President Donald Trump was indicted Monday by a grand jury in Atlanta, Georgia, on charges that he and his allies attempted to interfere with the state's 2020 presidential election. Trump's allies charged in the Georgia indictment include Rudy Giuliani, John Eastman, Mark Meadows, Jeffrey Clark, Sidney Powell, Gina Ellis. The charges stem from a long-running criminal investigation into the efforts made by Trump and his allies to overturn President Joe Biden's victory in Georgia's 2020 presidential election. Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis opened the probe in February 2021, just weeks after it was revealed that Trump had urged Georgia's Secretary of State to find enough votes to reverse his loss in the Peach State. Willis noted from the outset that she was investigating potential violations of state laws, barring election fraud and lying to government entities, as well as conspiracy, racketeering, and any involvement in violence or threats related to the administration of the 2020 election. Trump was hit with 13 separate criminal counts in the new indictment. The top count was a violation of Georgia's RICO, or Racketeer, Influence, and Corrupt Organizations Act. Trump was also charged with solicitation of violation of oath by a public officer, conspiracy to commit impersonating a public officer, conspiracy to commit forgery in the first degree, conspiracy to commit false statements and writings, and conspiracy to commit filing false documents. Other charges he faces are conspiracy to commit forgery in the first degree, conspiracy to commit false statements and writings, filing false documents, and false statements and writings. Ahead of the public disclosure of the Georgia indictments, the Trump campaign released a statement asserting Fani Willis, the Atlanta prosecutor who brought the case, as a rabid partisan. The statement, which also attacked the other prosecutors who have filed cases against Trump, accused Willis of campaigning and fundraising on a platform of prosecuting President Trump through these bogus indictments. Ain't that the kettle calling the pot black? The campaign also added Willis to Trump's frequent claim that the criminal charges against him are part of a conspiracy to derail his 2024 presidential campaign. Call it election interference or election manipulation. It is a dangerous effort by the ruling class to suppress the choice of the people, the statement read. We know what people. Trump himself has already been accused in a separate federal criminal case of attempting to interfere in the legitimate results of the 2020 presidential election, which he lost to President Joe Biden. Willis has been tight-lipped about her probe of Trump, but in recent interviews, she has defended the work of her office. I refuse to fail, she told the Wall Street Journal last month. While federal courts largely prohibit the photographing and broadcasting of judicial proceedings, the court in Fulton County regularly broadcasts judicial proceedings, which could mean that former President Donald Trump's case may be televised. The broadcasting of Trump's proceedings would give the public unprecedented access to what will be one of the most high-profile trials in American history. Earlier this month, congressional Democrats, led by California Representative Adam Schiff, called for Trump's federal criminal trials to be televised. If the public is to fully accept the outcome, it will be vitally important for it to witness as directly as possible how the trials are conducted, the strength of the evidence adduced, and the credibility of witnesses, wrote Schiff and 37 lawmakers in a letter to Judge Rosalind Moskoff, who leads the administrative office of U.S. courts. The indictment says that Trump and other defendants constituted a criminal organization whose members and associates engaged in various related criminal activities. Those activities included false statements and writings, impersonating public officer, forgery, filing false documents, influencing witnesses, computer theft, computer trespasses, computer invasion of privacy, conspiracy to defraud the states, acts involving theft and perjury. Trump's 2020 campaign lawyer Rudy Giuliani and Trump White House counsel Chief of Staff Mark Meadows were indicted with the former president. So was former Department of Justice official Jeffrey Clark and the Trump allied lawyers John Eastman and Sidney Powell, and other Trump campaign officials. Jenny Ellis, an attorney who worked with Giuliani, was also charged. Former President Donald Trump continued fundraising in the lead-up to the Georgia indictment. Trump's 2024 campaign sent out a fundraising email as the Georgia grand jury was weighing charges. But make no mistake, as long as we keep our foot on the gas, we will continue to surge in every critical battleground state across the country. With your support, we will not only maintain our massive leads in the most important battleground states, we will surge even higher, Trump's team said in a fundraising email earlier on Monday. Yeah, like he wrote that. Yeah, whatever. I'm Tyrone Bowman. Never surrender. Never quit.